Canceled flight? What are your rights? Stay tuned. Welcome back to So You Want to Travel, where I give you tips and tricks that I've learned along the way of being a travel agent for almost, it's November. So that means it's officially been 22 years. Tips and tricks that I've learned along the way of being a travel agent for 22 years. I know that you keep seeing things like this and articles like this, and the holidays are coming up and a lot of people are traveling, so you may be worried that your flight may be canceled. So why are flights being canceled? Number one is due to bad weather. Second reason is short-staffed. Third reason, and this isn't really recently, but a third reason why flights can be canceled is there's not enough passengers on the plane. Fourth reason is short-staffed on pilots. Fifth big reason is because of mechanical issues. And the sixth big reason is due to computer issues or computer glitches. Raise your hand if you have been delayed or your flight has been canceled due to bad weather. Raise your hand if your flight has been canceled or delayed due to mechanical issues. Raise your hand if your flight has been delayed or canceled due to lack of crew or pilots. Raise your hand if your flight has been delayed due to computer glitches. Right now it seems a little bit worse because once there's bad weather and then you have a short staff of crew, then you have the domino effect and you just basically have to wait for everything to catch up again. So what do you do if your flight is canceled or delayed? One thing I would suggest is make sure you're aware of the Contract of Carriage. That is the contract that all airlines have, and everybody's is not the same. So you do need to take a look and see what it is with your particular carrier, because it's going to discuss cancellations, delays, baggage, etc. So what are your rights? For the most part, in the travel industry, and this is across the board, if someone cancels something, if an airline cancels a flight, if you're going on a tour and that gets canceled, if your cruise gets canceled, if your hotel gets canceled, in the travel industry, for the most part, if that particular entity cancels something, then you're due a refund. That is your right to get a refund. Now, are there loopholes with that? Possibly. Please note that they may not offer a refund. This may be something that you need to ask for. Have I ever run into a problem where I was not able to get a passenger a refund because somebody else canceled? No, I've never run into that issue. So for the most part, if they cancel, you can get a refund. So that's option number one. Option number two is, and this they do automatically, is they try to reprotect you on a new flight, one of their flights generally. They'll try to reprotect you on a new flight, and right now, because there are flight shortages, the flight may not be a great time. It may be a red-eye flight, but there may not be any other option. So if you need to travel, then take what they give you. Next, and this is where your contract comes into play, because sometimes, say for example, United cancels their flight due to a shortage of crew, but American has plenty of space on their flight. Sometimes an airline will actually rebook you on a completely different carrier to get you to your destination. So that's where knowing your contract comes into play, because you can have that conversation. Can you rebook me on such and such flight because their flight leaves at the same time yours was leaving? Know what you're talking about. When it comes to delays, that's a little bit different. Each airline has different rules and regulations, but one thing is the same across the board, and that is if you have a situation where you're delayed because of something that the airline has control of, like for example, if there's not enough crew or if your pilot is not available to fly, then after a certain amount of hours, they will provide you with food vouchers, and if it's going to be overnight, then they'll also provide you with accommodations. For example, last time I was in Switzerland, my flight was delayed because the pilot got sick and there was no replacement. So I stayed an additional night in Switzerland and the airline covered it for me. But hear me when I say this is different when it comes to every single airline. So this is very important for you again to have knowledge of your contract of carriage, because each airline is going to have a certain rule with regards to the hours. Like it can come down to the hours of they will provide you with compensation if you're delayed between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. or something odd like that. So just know what it is that they will cover. And this goes into what I say all the time, and that is to have travel insurance. Because travel insurance is a little bit different. If you're delayed, and generally if you're delayed by 4 hours, then your travel insurance kicks in. But of course that's going to depend on your travel insurance as well. So you want to check with your travel insurance to see how long you have to be delayed before it kicks in. I know it's easier said than done, but patience is very important. The person on the other side of the desk is not the one who canceled the flight. Not only that, but they're also short-staffed. So just remember that as well. They're really trying to help. They don't want to be in the situation. They don't want you to be in the situation. So just remember to remain as patient as possible. If you have a travel agent, contact your travel agent. That's what we're here for. We will take care of everything. I hope this video helps you ease a little bit of pain when it comes to cancellations, because you see that you do have rights as a passenger. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, it helps my channel, and of course, the algorithm always loves it. So like and subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, talk to you later.